You know, some people say that traveling by plane is the safest way to travel. Those people have clearly never seen plane disaster films. Hey guys, Melinda here. This is actually my second attempt at filming this video because the first time I just came from the doctor and I wasn't feeling good. I was feeling kind of gross, so redo. And I'm dying a little bit because I decided to wear this green fuzzy sweater in the middle of summer. So today I am going to be talking about the Amazon Prime film 7500. I wasn't sure if it's called 7500 or 7500, but in the movie they say that the code is 7500, so that's what I'm rolling with. Let's go ahead, we'll watch the trailer first so you can kind of get an idea of what the film is about, and then we'll roll right into it.
You guys seem to know each other. We have a boy at home.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you ready for boarding, guys?
We were born ready. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Your captain. I'd like to wish you a nice day and thank you for your trust in us.
So, guys, Isha.
European 162, what's your emergency?
We have a 7500.
Open the door!
Several men attacked our cockpit. We stopped them for now. The captain is injured. Status of the crew, I don't know. They have a hostage. They're going to kill him if I don't open the door.
You want other guys to die?
Don't stop, please. I can't open the door. Let her go. Please. Please, I beg. Please.
I'm sorry, but you know that under no circumstances you are allowed to let into the cockpit.
They don't have guns. They don't have knives. If you work together, you can beat them.
It's okay, you're gonna be alright.
European 162, what's the status?
Spooky. For those of you who haven't seen my movie reviews, the way that I like to review them is without giving any spoilers for the film unless it's specifically in the trailer, so that way anybody can watch this movie review, they can click on this video and determine if they want to go watch it, if it still seems interesting to them, or things to kind of look out for as they watch the film. So with that little disclaimer, let's go ahead, jump right into the review. So just to kind of briefly sum up what the movie is, and you can kind of get the gist of it watching the trailer. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he and his co-pilot, they're flying this plane. It gets overrun with hijackers, hence why the code is 7500. That's the code for people trying to take over the plane. One of the flight attendants and Joseph Gordon-Levitt have a relationship, and it's mentioned that they have a small boy at home, so that's going to come into play later on. Especially in the trailer, you do see that the hijackers take her as hostage and threatening to kill her if Joseph Gordon-Levitt doesn't open the door. They just kind of leave it open for interpretation that it's a very intense, exhilarating, kind of on the edge of your seat the entire time kind of movie, so kind of like a thriller, and I believe that's what it's classified as, is a thriller. But I was very intrigued by it. It looked very interesting. It's kind of different than the kind of films that I watch, so I thought I would give it a try. So there were a few things that I really liked about this film, but overall my general feeling and thoughts about it is that kind of like I don't care for it. There's nothing that I would consider real special about it. It exists. I thought it could have been a lot better, and that's just kind of where my mind keeps going to, is that it could have been so much better, but it wasn't. So this is what we have. Before I go more into detail about that, I will talk about the things that I really did like about the film. So going into the good things that I liked about this film, what I'm going to describe is not a spoiler for the film. I'm just describing a scene to you guys. The way that the movie starts is black and white security cam footage from the airport. We see the hijackers walking through the airport, going through security, going into the bathroom like normal things. They're able to get past security and actually make it to their terminal, to their gate. You could kind of see in their face that they're acting a little suspicious, so I think that's why they really wanted those people to outshine, showing this security footage so we know who to look out for later on in the film. There was no audio, it was just white noise, and we're just watching these people go through the airport. I love the way that that's how they started the film. It caught my attention immediately. I think it just sets a great tone for the film. It was just mind-boggling, so absolutely loved that they did that. One of the other things that I really liked is there's a lot of technical jargon the characters use regarding the plane and the codes and simulating like an actual takeoff of what a pilot and a co-pilot would do. It was really interesting to me. I'm not familiar with everything, but I'm assuming that they did their research and they tried to make it as identical to an actual takeoff and what these pilots do and say. Again, I'm assuming that it is all correct and that the writers of this film did their research and made sure that it was correct and actually makes sense for those that are a pilot and would watch this film. I was very blown away that they took the time and the effort to learn all of this about taking off in a plane, about a pilot, a captain, the difference of the roles, and I'm just very thrilled and happy that they did that. It came across so smooth and so realistic. The next thing that I really love about the film and that we see in the trailer as well is that there's a camera outside of the cockpit that is showing what is happening. So like you can see one of the flight attendants coming to their door to deliver drinks, and then later on in the film we can see the hijackers through that. I just love the cinematic choice. The filming camera is shooting the screen of the outside camera. Basically what Joseph Gordon-Levitt is seeing from his seat versus like using that camera pointed outside, you know, or actually having the camera stationed outside in that little hallway area. I just love the shots of the screen of what's happening outside because of the filter that's on it, and you can't really see the colors that great. It's kind of grainy. It looks so raw and so, again, realistic, and it adds that much suspense, I personally believe. I love the cinematography. I love the shots that they did and the choices that they made. It was great. It was phenomenal, and that's what I absolutely love about this film. Going into what I was kind of saying earlier about how this film could just be so much more, one of the notes that I made is that it's a very entertaining film, but there's no major plot twists. If you search like the basic arc of a storyline, it's always beginning and then it's plots leading up to the climax, the downfall, and then the ending, the conclusion. And I just felt like that there was no climax. We had the beginning, and then we had points leading up to it. I guess you could say the climax is the hijackers actually taking over, but it just didn't feel as dramatic as it should have been, or like that just wasn't the best climax. Like usually that would be part of the leading up to the climax, but it wasn't. I can just think of so many ways that this film could have been better, especially when you get towards the end. One of my biggest critiques about it is the hijackers. I feel like they just don't have as strong of a motive as they should. The motive that these hijackers have, it wasn't strong enough, and it wasn't compelling, and I got kind of annoyed because I wanted it to be so much more dramatic and shocking and intense, but it wasn't. It was kind of a disappointment, honestly. So the note that I specifically wrote about it that I think is great to say is that the story felt weak. I thought it was good, and again, it was very entertaining. It was very intense and kept my attention the entire time, but the storyline itself felt weak and that it could have been stronger. And really the only other note that I added, which I like about films, I hate when they tie it into a nice pretty bow and make it a clean ending. They didn't do that with this film. It was so emotional. It was very sad. There is something good about the ending, but it wasn't a clean bow. I love when films do that because then it leaves questions for the audience and has them think about the future. What does this lead to? What could this result in? I very much enjoyed that aspect of the film as well. And that's it. That's all my notes. So again, entertaining film, but it could have been better. The story was kind of weak. That is all I'm gonna say on that film. I don't really recommend if you just you want something to watch to pass the time. I would recommend, but nothing compelling about this film. That's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, or if you liked the movie, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. It would absolutely mean the world to me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you want to see more content and more reviews. Leave your comments down below what you thought about the film, what you thought about this movie review, and also leave your comments on what you want me to watch next. Good or bad, I like to watch it all. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Live life, always laugh, and enjoy the journey. Bye.